Alright gentlemen, these videos are no holds barred. This is the exact advice I would give to anyone asking me for help with cooking and nutrition. Nothing is kept secret and nothing is omitted. For this reason, if you find that this video or any of my others in the past have helped you in any way, please do me a humongous favor. Scroll down in the description, click on the first link there. It's going to be my online course, which compiles all this knowledge about cooking and nutrition. It's going now for an exclusive pre-sale price. Thank you very much for your time, and let's get started. I remember coming home from elementary school several times to my stepdad's homemade burger recipe. The flavor combination I still haven't been able to recreate to this day. It was some Worcestershire sauce, Worcestershire, maybe some soy, salt, pepper, who knows what else. Though a bunch of assholes will probably critique the technical elements of that, they can't take away the care and intention behind the burger. Nothing was superfluous or forced. This is the secret. In this video, I will elaborate on this as I show you the template for a pretty good burger for any occasion. First off, you can see here how I'm doing the very nice vegetable prep. The tomatoes you can cut lengthwise, it just makes it easier. You can also cut them into like fucking circles so you can make them 3 per. Make sure you salt them right. I didn't salt them ahead of time because they would have dried out a little bit too much, gotten a tiny bit too leathery. Oh, never mind, I'm lying. I am salting them over here. Whoops. Facetious information be like. So apparently it didn't make that big of a difference, but because it was less than an hour between them being salted and me cooking these and serving them, eating them. But if it's going to be for a longer period of time, if you're cutting these if you're taking a longer time to cook the actual dish, please make sure that you don't salt it before. Just salt it a couple of minutes before, but salt your tomatoes as they do make them wonderful. Now I'm using a dowel strong knife here. It's very, very sharp. Still refining my onion cutting skills. If as you can see here, I'm going to be doing a very, very funny job at peeling it. Quartering it makes it significantly easier to peel, as you can see right over here. Some people take off like fucking 3 layers when they peel it. That's just entirely unnecessary in my opinion. Just take off the very outer extremity. Sometimes it's like blemished and mixed. In that case, yeah, sure, take off the other one as well. Let's see if I do that on this one right over here. But you can just see, this is good. This is good enough. And the way I'm going to be slicing these, since they're going to be raw, but don't worry, they're not going to be giga raw. They're only going to be a little bit raw because I am going to wash them with some cold water, which is going to ameliorate the situation a little bit. So if you can see right over here, yeah, I took off a little extra layer of skin, tiny bit of extra Shabbat Shalom, but that's all right because I just made the judgment. You need to make your own call. And look how thinly I'm trying to slice these. The sharpness of the knife really helps here. And you'll see that once they're separated, it really does make a big difference. Because if I did this with a dollar knife, then it would have been fucking chunky as shit. But still, I should keep it, I should keep it a little bit even thinner maybe for next time. Now, you'll see that I'm cutting off the little bit of the root just so it can separate easier. Cutting that off because that's where all the like tears and all the shit comes out of, right over there. Let's see if I cut off the other half of this in this clip. I know for a fact, so I do onion, tomato, and lettuce here, and I'm prepping the vegetables first because that's the most laborious part of it. It's the hardest part of it, by far the most labor intensive. But once you're done with that, you're fucking golden. You're like Steve from Minecraft movie. You're like Lola Lava chicken, except this is burger. So you can see how I'm still getting back into the groove of things. Making sure not to fucking cut myself. Making sure to properly slice thinly the whatever else it is that's keeping them together. You see there's a little bit of the root, and so I'm going to cut that part a tiny bit off. And you can see how, watching back, right, VOD reviewing this footage, it's so important and so useful, because I can be doing so much better, right? Like, you watch some people online, and you kind of don't appreciate, unless you're there in real life, how well they do things, because I could have chopped this onion way finer and way better. Here is the strainer where the onions are eventually going to be strained. See, they are already strained over here in this freeze frame. I didn't record that. You just pour cold water over them to get rid of the harshness, right? Because if you put onions straight up, it can be a little bit too harsh. Still, don't make this on a date, obviously, because you're gonna smell like fucking alliums. But if you're just like having it for yourself, but still don't want to like offend everyone in your family, rinse the onions pretty well, pretty thoroughly, and this will get rid of a bit of the harshness. Now this iceberg lettuce, it makes it super, super easy to just chop finely. You'll see that I'm not doing it particularly well, but if you see, as in I'm not doing it particularly with a lot of doing it with a lot of intention, but I don't have to try very hard because the iceberg lettuce just shreds itself very easily. like you can see over here. Now, after this, there's not much left to be done actually. There's just the burger cooking part and the fucking burger assembling part. So let me talk a little bit about the meat, the cheese, and the buns. Now, cheese, first of all, I will be using American cheese over here. Very, very, very unfortunate. Let's talk about this. First of all, using some butter, and it's a cast iron pan. Actually, first off, I'll be toasting the bun, but let's get the cheese a little bit out of the way, because the bun takes a little bit of time to toast. So, this cheese is gonna be American. I know, fucking shocker. It is plastic. It is really shit for you. That being said, if you want to make a burger that doesn't taste like a homemade one and tastes like a restaurant quality one, that's what makes this burger good, right? Nothing is superfluous, nothing is forced, but everything is fucking done with intention. I did the American cheese one with intention because that is just the industry standard for melting well. Sure, you can do some fucking like fondue shit, some Emmental, some cheddar, a bunch of other stuff. You can do that, and you can also do the Adam Ragusa thing where you like sodium citrate max or potassium citrate, whichever one it was, and then you use the fucking um emulsifying qualities of that to make like a bechamel, and then like you put some cheese in that and then fucking blend it all together, cut it up in sticks. I just bought American cheese. I haven't used American cheese in I think like half a decade, honestly. Uh, Maybe for the next video I'll get rid of the fucking foot cam as well. It's unintentional. That's just how things are. So you can see over here, toasting the buns over pretty low, medium, low heat, and I'm toasting the bottom only. So I'm using American cheese just before we transition to the buns because it's fucking fun and it melts very fast and it makes it taste very, very restaurant quality. And I'm making only a single burger here, not a double. I did eat 2 burgers as opposed to 1 double. So that's just my preference. So as you can see here, I'm toasting the side of the bun that I'll be holding, which is the new meta. It used to be the meta with the pub style fucking bacon, onion, tomato, jam, whatever burgers. It used to be super meta to like toast the inside of the bun and leave the outside untoasted, or just like toasted both sides. But that I find really makes the burger a lot more prone to slipping, to ingredients slipping out and fucking juicing all over the place like crazy, which is not very nice. So you can see I'm done with that one. Now I'm getting the, I think, top half. Yeah, this is the top half, swishing it around in the butter, getting that nice and toasted as well. That way, you get a nice contrast, so you bite into it, and it's crispy, and it's stuck together from the outside, but the inside is more melded. The inside is more cohesive. It just all works better together with the cheese and the fucking meat and all the toppings and sauces that I'll be showing you. It just works a lot better if you leave the inside untoasted, and this made it taste like a pretty much fucking restaurant quality burger, right? As the internet is now transitioning from the pub style whatever the fuck into the smash burger era, which it is firmly in now, I think that's pretty good because they're easier to make at home and they're also tastier, right? Because you'll see with the patties over here, the way I made them, it's really the point is just to make them very, very thin, and I have them seasoned, as you can see the whole time. I've been kind of ignoring them on purpose. So you can see that they're seasoned here, just salted, peppered only on one side because they're so thin. And once I'm done toasting these buns, they'll be ready to go in. This is as opposed to the pub style fucking meatball patty, where it's just like you try to make an 8-ounce one, you try to make it, it looks very good, it sounds very good. You watch the Gordon Ramsay burger tutorial, and you like misapply the things he says there because the shape isn't actually what he does there, and you don't use the same cuts. So you just try to kind of make your own version of that, but it ends up just being a fucking shrunken meatball that's like burnt on the outside and raw in the middle. That's what the smash burger really, really helps you to avoid. And with the toasting only the outside of the bun, that's how you're going to have a lot more fun than you would usually do with the homemade burger. And that's what's going to make it taste like an actual full-on burger instead of just a homemade one, which usually has a negative connotation. Here I have some more butter that browned a little bit more than I was intending on. Probably a little bit of olive oil as well. This guy was having a hard time getting off. That's the downside of letting them rest at room temperature for a bit and then fucking making them as thin as they are. But you can see over here that I have very little trouble once I take assistance, use the assistance of my other hand. And you can also see that this guy doesn't shrink as much. Even though it's 80-20, not a lot of water gets expressed because we let it come up to room temperature and it's thin. So it just gets a very nice sear. And it's also in a small pan, right? So it gets its own attention. Look at all the fat surrounding it, so there's no way it's not going to get a good sear. And it's right now on the unseasoned side, which means that there are less things interfering with it and less things, less shit for it to fuck with. which is very, very beautiful, and it's a very beautiful thing. So you want to let this pretty much go unmoved, minute and a half, 2 minutes, I would say. I'm not exactly sure what I did over here. I don't do it by time. Like, I don't time it. I don't measure the temperature of these with the thermometer. I quite simply go until it's like a pancake, right? It's basically like a pancake. Once you see the browning sort of the edges, like you see over there, the edges are getting browned. So I should be flipping this guy pretty soon. And on the other side, I'm usually more conservative with the heat, fucking because we already established an ice here, as you're gonna be able to see very soon. And I'm just gonna make sure it's cooked through, add the cheese, and then baste it a little bit. So you see over there, scrape up all the good stuff, the smash burger, and look at that. That just looks fucking amazing. It's not ultra crispy, ultra Shake Shack maxing, where it's like fucking $15 for a burger. Full autism, by the way. It's like $15 for like or like $12 for like it tastes good, it tastes great, but it's so small, bro. The portion sizes are so small and it's so overpriced. However, their food is very good. So, but this is not like a Shake Shack burger where it's like giga smashed, basically like 1 centimeter thin. It's more akin to a Habit or In-N-Out. If you're on the West Coast, if you're in California, Los Angeles, you know what I'm talking about. The Habit has very, very good burgers. They've rebranded, at least the one next to me rebranded, pretty recently. So fucking, I mean, it lost its charm, but the food quality is it's still maintained. Except they both use caramelized onions. I'm an In-N-Out if you ask for it. So that's a bit of a big difference. Now, as you can see here, I put on the 2 slices of American cheese just to help with the browning. I fucking get them out and baste it. I actually get a spoon, tilt it, and baste it, right? Now, the only problem is that you can't cook that many this way, because if you use American cheese, the American cheese will fucking stick to the pan and kind of burn. But if you're only making a couple, and you have a couple of pans, you can do that. I'm saying you can make like 2 patties per pan before you need to clean it with this method, which sounds retarded, but like, you'll see. Again, I'm very sorry. I'm horribly sorry that this is the case, but it's just the cost. And this is the part that we're not doing anything superfluous, like I said in the beginning, but we are taking care of the things that need to be taken care of. And I'm willing to take the fucking L of having the pan be a little bit dirty if it means that the burger gets browned better and the cheese gets properly melted. So you do have to be willing to make those sacrifices. Here I'm making a very, very simple Thousand Island Dave's Hot Chicken In-N-Out fucking whatever sauce. Not the Habit doesn't use this. So it's basically ketchup and mustard, which I used to hate on their own. Get over it. The sauce is gonna taste great. And a bunch of mayo, right? So it's like 1 part ketchup, 1 part mustard, 2 parts mayo. Let's go. And then as you can see here, yeah, I add that in. And then the seasonings are like, it's just salt, pepper, garlic powder, paprika. Those are basically what I would recommend. Garlic powder there. Going in. Gonna hit it with some salt, hit it with some pepper. Actually, yeah, no, I onion powder and garlic powder it because I'm a goat. I know what's up. I don't even know if I paprika it. Yeah, you don't even need this actually for the American flavor, for the Americanized flavor. But I think I am gonna get it out, and it definitely does help. But this is the most optional ingredient of this burger sauce. So after that, we just mix it up. And the In-N-Out one uses caramelized onions, as I said, and chopped up dill pickles, or like some sort of sweet pickle in the sauce, which is very, very nice. But if you're short on time, I'm not trying to fucking do all that. The difference it makes, it's big, but it's not that big. So this is going to make you a very, very nice sauce, which we can now use to assemble the burger, like so. So we have the bottoms of the buns untoasted, and the top. We are going to be saucing it up, lettucing it up, saucing the top bun actually, from my knowledge. Yeah, there we are. So we're going to be lettucing the bottom just so the juices get absorbed and have more layers to like filtrate through and not just completely soak the bottom bun. Followed by some tomatoes, followed by the onions, followed by the burger, followed by the cheese, which is already built in on top of it. So let's see the assembly right here. Yep, bunch of lettuce, bunch of iceberg. The color balancing is probably a little bit off, whatever. I don't really care because I know for a fact, like, I know how good this was. So, oh, actually, you put the tomatoes on top, very nice. So, I know how fucking great this was, and so I'm not gonna worry about the color balancing, anything like that. I take some of the some of the caramelized bits at the bottom of the pan, put that on there. It's not the most aesthetic, but it's a lot of flavor. So, after that come the fucking onion and tomato. And then once we close this bad boy up, it's absolutely fucking go time, and it's time to enjoy a very, very nice meal. Overall, this takes very, very little time, very little ingredients, but what little ingredients there are, you do have to take care of. You have to take good care of, like you have to slice the onions thinly, you have to rinse them, you have to salt the tomatoes. Oh, I do also have bacon on there. Wait, that's a pleasant surprise. Yeah, you have to have bacon on there, and also some tomato. But yeah, those little things like making sure you put the bacon on there, which I even forgot. Just oven roast those for best results. These will make, and toasting the buns and taking care of the patty, this will make the best burger. Thank you very much. Remember, you may not have a lot of time in this world, but you have enough. Enjoy.